Bob, Chapter 3. Livy. The zombie must have decided to forgive me because it is smiling at me now. But it is a smile like when you have decided to smile, not the kind of smile that just happens on its own. This is what a smiling zombie looks like. 1. Short. 2. Green skin, not grass green, more like inside an avocado green. 3. No hair unless you count one long eyebrow and the patchy fuzz growing on the top of his head. 4. Pretty skinny. I can see one knobby knee sticking out of the chicken suit where a seam has come undone. 5. Big melted chocolate brown eyes. 6. No eyelids. 7. Smooth skin, at least the parts I can see. 8. A nose. 9. White teeth. 10. Lips turned up at the ends. Like I said, it was a potentially fake smile. Is that a chicken suit? I asked. It doesn't actually make him look anything like a chicken. In fact, don't ask me how I even know it's a chicken suit. He sniffs. Of course, it's the chicken suit, the one you made for me. He reaches behind his neck and yanks the hood up. It's just some orangey cloth with glued-on feathers and an oversized red felt chicken comb stuck on top of the hood. It looks like a little kid cut it out with bad scissors and glued it there. I pointed at him. I made that? He tilts his head and the red felt chicken comb flops to one side. Of course you made it. I didn't even know what a chicken was before I met you. I learned about chicken combs in kindergarten when our class visited a farm. There was a huge rooster there named Queen. How come I remember the name of a rooster I met in kindergarten, but I don't remember this? Why are you wearing a chicken suit? In here. In the closet, I meant, where he seems to live. He sniffs again. I'm wearing it so that I will be ready. He hikes up one side of the thing and the other side droops toward the floor. Ready for what? He gives me a long stare, and I figure this is another thing I'm supposed to remember. And why is it like half on, half off? It reminds me of this kid in my class last year who always wore his coat with one arm pulled out of the sleeve. If you must know, I started to remove it about a year ago. I thought I might as well change clothes, but I'm afraid my left foot might be detached. There was an unfortunate incident involving the dictionary. You were attacked by a dictionary? I didn't say that. It was more of a tipping over. He glares at the dictionary, then strokes it like it's a pet rabbit or something. Zombie parts detach very easily, you know. If I take the rest of the zombie suit off, the foot may peel right off with it. I eyed him carefully. What's your name? I asked. The zombie drops something on the floor. I look down at his feet and see the Lego pirate. The pirate's hat had fallen off and his little arms are stretched out toward it like he's trying to get it back. When I look up, the zombie has that mad look on his face. You don't remember my name? He asks. Then I realize he isn't mad. His feelings are hurt. This is how a zombie looks when his feelings are hurt. 1. Pretty much the same as before, except the one eyebrow goes up and both sides of the mouth go down. I'm sure I'll remember it, I say quickly, but if you tell me now, I'll know it sooner. I don't think I will, the zombie says. I think I'll let you remember it, since you're so great at remembering things. Olivia! It's Mom calling from downstairs. Lunchtime! That's me, I tell the zombie. I am Olivia. People call me Livy. He rolled his eyes. I know your name. Then he uses one foot to nudge the Lego pirate toward his ship. He does the same with the pirate's black hat. The small pieces are really easy to lose, he mumbles. Olivia, Mom calls again. Her voice is closer this time. I have to go eat, I say. I'll be back. I pull the light cord and close the closet door. I've heard that before, he mutters from the other side. Gran has made ham and cheese sandwiches with pickles. Mom must have told her it was my second favorite lunch after tacos. She pours us glasses of milk. To Rain, Gran says, raising her glass. Mom glances at me and then raises her glass. To Rain, she says. Then they look at me, so I say it too. Beth Ann can't even hold a glass. She just points at Gran's nose. She likes to point at people's noses. It hasn't rained in Gran's town for a long, long time, which is bad. It's called a drought. It's bad for the plants, bad for the animals, and bad for the people who live around here. Mom says the drought is why Gran doesn't have horses anymore. She couldn't feed them because her grass stopped growing. She has to share water with her neighbors, and she only gets a little bit. Mom says she'll show me how to brush my teeth a special way so that I don't waste any. Livy, Gran says, when your mom leaves and it's just the two of us, I thought maybe you and I could make a cake. She shows me a fat cookbook called Women's Weekly Children's Birthday Cookbook. Livy, this is the best cake cookbook on the planet, Mom says. Cake sounds good, but I have a zombie waiting for me upstairs, and I don't really want to think about Mom leaving. And so I say it sounds great. Lunch is pretty quick because Beth Ann gets right down to what Dad calls her job, which is crying. Yes, crying is her job, and she's really good at it. No one even bothers trying to talk when she cries because she's so loud. Gran rubs Beth Ann's back while we put our heads down and eat. When I've finished my sandwich, my pickle, and Mom's pickle, I shout over the crying to say I'm going upstairs to read in the canopy bed, and Mom shouts back, "Great idea," and says she'll help find me a book. I talk really loudly in the upstairs hall so that the zombie will know I'm not alone. When we walk into my room, the closet door is closed and there is no sign of him. Mom puts her hand on my shoulder and leads me to a bookshelf against the far wall. These were all mine, she says. I tilt my head and read a few titles. Alice in Wonderland, which of course I've heard of, and Snugglepot and Cuddle Pie, which I haven't. Mom picks out a book with a strange cover. One half of a smiling girl and one half of a knight wearing black armor, lined up so that they look like the two sides of one person. Half magic, she says. I loved this when I was your age. Just think, Olivia, when you were here before, you couldn't even read. Time goes so quickly. I lie on the bed and pretend to love Mom's book right away, even though it usually takes me a little while to love a book. She gives me a quick hug and goes back downstairs, where Beth Ann is still crying. I run to the closet. The zombie is hovering over the pirate ship again, and this time with a Lego monkey in his hand. He drops the monkey and puts his hands over his ears. What, he asks, is that terrible noise? Close the door. I tell him it is only the baby doing her middle of the night crying. Is it the middle of the night, he asks. It doesn't feel like the middle of the night, though I admit that a closet is not the best place to decide what time it is. There is a certain timelessness to closets. This one, anyway. It's the middle of the night in Massachusetts, I tell him. Gran's house is 14 hours ahead of Massachusetts time. Well, he said, I guess your baby brother must be very good at math, but I wish you would make her stop. It's annoying, but it's her job, I tell him, and she's not my baby. Although I did name her. Mom and Dad let me because they read a book that said it might help with my adjustment to being a big sister. I have no idea why I named her Beth Ann. They probably should have named her themselves. Downstairs, the phone started ringing. Grand Nicholas has a really loud phone because her hearing isn't so great. You can hear her phone ringing even when Beth Ann is crying. When I talk to Grand Nicholas on the phone at home, Mom always stands right behind me and tells me to speak up, and Gran always says, "Tell your mother I can hear you just fine. I've got my ears on." That's what she calls her hearing aids, her ears. I guess the phone was for Mom because now she's yelling into it and laughing. My mom hasn't seen her friends in 5 years, I tell the zombie. He looks up. Me neither. Do you have friends? I ask him. Friends like you? That, he says, is what we were trying to find out. Remember? I'm tired of saying everything I don't remember. Instead, I point at his foot, the one inside the chicken suit. Can you wiggle it? I think so. I see the bottom of the chicken suit move, and one feather flutters off. He sneezes. Take the suit off, I say. I bet your foot's totally fine. No, he says quickly, I'm not in the mood. You're scared. I'm not scared, I just don't feel like it. What kind of zombie gets scared about taking off a chicken suit? I thought zombies were strong and powerful. Are they? He looks up at me. You really never met another zombie? He shakes his head. But what about your parents? He is quiet now, concentrating on attaching the little plastic monkey to the pirate ship mainsails. 2 hands, he tells the monkey. We don't want you to fall off and get lost like poor Mr. Parrot. This zombie has definitely spent too much time alone. You don't have parents? I asked. He rolls his eyes. We've been over this, he says. No parents that I know of. No idea who I am. No idea why I was mixed up with your grand chickens. No idea where I came from or how to get back. Then how do you know you're a zombie in the first place? The same way I know a lot of things. You told me. Me? You mean before, when I was 5? I didn't know anything. I blink a few times and take a long look at him. Why did I even think he was a zombie when I opened the closet door this morning? He's green and his clothes are kind of ratty, but does that make him a zombie? I'm pretty sure 5-year-old me confused both of us. Listen, I say, what if you're not a zombie? I am a zombie. I know I am. That's why I don't need to eat or sleep much, and that's why I'm so careful about my pants falling off. But have any parts fallen off ever? He glanced at the foot inside the chicken suit. I'm not sure. Hold out your hand. He holds out one hand. Look, I say, 5 fingers. He wiggles them. But how do you know how many I started with? Maybe I had 6. Maybe I had 8. I shake my head. Take that foot out of the chicken suit. I bet $100 it's still attached. He hugs the ratty-looking orange cloth to his body. No. This kind of reminds me of the time Susanna Hopewell kicked me in the face with her soccer cleats. Not on purpose. We were both going after the ball. I tripped and rolled, and the bottom of her shoe scraped the whole side of my face. I covered my cheek with both hands and wouldn't let anyone look. I was too afraid of what they might see. Finally, Dad blocked the door to the field house bathroom so that I could look in the mirror by myself. There was a big gash next to my ear, but it wasn't as bad as what I had been imagining. I got 14 stitches, and Mom bought me a bag of candy corn, almost as big as my backpack. Do you want to look at it by yourself? I ask him. He grunts and says, If I wanted to look at it by myself, don't you think I would have done it by now? I have an idea. I point at the huge dictionary. Let's look up zombie and see if you match the definition. He looks worried. But what if I'm not a zombie? What happens then? If you're not a zombie, then your foot is still connected to your body. That would be good news, sir. He thinks and then nods. He puts 2 hands on the dictionary and pushes it along the floor out of the closet to where I'm standing. I sit on the rug, open the dictionary to A, and then wish I'd started at the back. I have to move the pages in big clumps with both hands. The probably not really a zombie waits patiently. I get to Z and trail my finger down the page like I've seen Dad do. I move past zest, spirited enjoyment, gusto, past zodiac, a celestial path, and land on zombie. We lean in together to read the definition.